I'll let you do the end.
Like Neil, it's as flat as a bloody pancake out there tonight. Anyway, it really is. Disappointing with that.
Sure, why people still waiting for it tonight? It's weird.
Yeah, this one should have been. Yeah, this one should have been sold to Christmas, but they were in the trophy, so. It's only one. It's only one.
Hello?
Actually, it's going to be timed exactly right, I think.
Oh, wait, come on. Yeah, just need to remember.
Clean these bloody windows on Saturday, they're a disgrace.
Yeah.
It really is.
Those sockets are clearly marked down there, press marks. I labelled them.
I wonder if there'd be a bit of a kick clash on the yellow and red.
Possibly. I'm surprised they didn't put their away colour.
Yeah,
Right, we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome onto the pitch your two teams, Gloucester City and your very own Gosport Borough.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the AEI Stadium where we've got live action coming to you from the AEI Stadium. It's Gosport Borough hosting Gloucester City, and looking at how the visitors line up tonight is Jared Thompson, who starts in goal, 4 Morgan Lewis, 6 Michael O'Regan, 8 Aaron Wildig, 9 Kieran Phillips, 11 Ellis Watts, 12 and their skipper Kieran Thomas, 13 Joe Hanks, 16 Harry Pinchard, 19 Jamal Mohammed and 20 Kane Simpson. As for Gosport Borough, there are a few changes from the side that lost to Hungerford, starting with Henry Blackledge in goal, 3 and our skipper Rory Williams, 6 Charlie Vasmer, 8 Adam Tommaso, 16 Jordan Engalo, 19 Hisham Kasamu, 20 Michael Fernandez, 21 and back in the team following his injury, 21 Ben Greenwood, and 23 Matthew Boos. His first time starting here at the AEI Stadium since re-signing for the club. 24 Harry Kavanagh, and leading the front forward line tonight is 25 Ethan Taylor. On the bench for Gosport, 2 Benny Reid, 4 Finley Will-Smith, 9 Dan Wooden, 11 Luke Cook and 17 Trevor Cable.
Enjoy the game. Thank you.
Alongside me for this one, to my right, I've got Club President Jeremy Fox, and to my left, we've got the expert analysis, Matt Williams. Matt, let's start with you. What do you think we can expect from the visitors today?
Well, Gloucester actually have one win in the last 7. And looking at their front line and how many goals each of their players have scored this season, it might seem a bit of a worry to Gosport Borough fans. But I actually think that Gosport can get something from this game. One of the reasons is Gosport have the 3rd best home league form this season. And as we know, the AEI Stadium can be quite a cauldron. And I just sort of feel like Gloucester's rocky form and the home form that Gosport have can sort of, there's a chance that Gosport can get something in.
Well, it's Gosport in their yellow and blue strip, shooting from my right to left, and Gloucester in their home kit, actually, the red and yellow. We thought they were going to be wearing their blue away strip, but not the case tonight, in the yellow and red, and it's going to be them kicking us off. You may be able to hear the atmosphere here at the AEI Stadium. We've got the drums going, so it should make for a pretty good atmosphere tonight, although a very cold night out there, let me tell you that. And we're just waiting for this kickoff to get us underway, and we are underway here at the AEI Stadium. It was Hanks kicking us off. Jeremy, I'll pass back to you. What do you think we can expect from tonight?
Good evening, James, Matt, listeners. I don't think you can expect anything other than a very, very tough, tight, challenging contest. I mean, I heard Matt sort of talk about Gloucester's recent record, but they are where they are for a reason. We are where we are for a reason. And I think it's going to be a tough, very close run and intriguing.
I think that's a fair summative, especially with these two teams both desperately chasing that playoff spot. Will one of them get that come the end of the season? Gosport haven't had the best recent form on the road for 2 straight games and losing both of them. I'm sure we will address that away form in a minute. But before we do that, let's turn back to the game because Gloucester do have a free kick. I wouldn't say deep into the Gosport half. It's closer to the halfway line, to be completely honest. And it is Pinchard over this set piece. Pinchard dinks in a ball, and it was an unrushing Gloucester player there who knocked it over and bundled it over the crossbar. Matt, is that something we can expect from the set pieces from Gloucester tonight, hanging balls into the box?
I think so. A lot of Gloucester's players, again, I'm talking about their front line. You've got Hanks, who's on 12 goals. Simpson's on 13 goals. Frizz's on 13 goals as well. And Simpson and Hanks have actually come back into the team recently, which they weren't actually in the team beforehand, like their last game, which could possibly suggest that to a point towards their rocky form because they've not had their best players available for them. But now that they have, that means Gloucester could possibly get some from this game. But I still have faith in Gosport for this change.
Well, it's Gosport looking to counter down the left-hand side, but it was so coolly dealt with there by Thomas, back in the team for Gloucester tonight, and it's gone all the way back into Thompson in goal. Jeremy, a lot of experienced heads in this Gloucester team tonight.
Yeah, and you'd expect nothing less. Obviously, you've got to be looking at the calibre of players like Ellis Watts, Joe Hanks, who was a bit of a torturer for us in his corresponding game last season. You look down the team sheet and Kane Simpson. I mean, what more can you say? Quality of players there. That's why they are where they are, and a formidable outfit.
Well, Gosport were coming forward for a split second there. Casimo leading the line, ran into trouble after running straight into Mohammed, who looks to be playing more right centre-back role tonight. Matt, you could probably tell us more, but from the last few games, it looked like he was more operating in that right-back role, so coming more centred today. What do you make of that?
I think it's partly due to Thomas's inclusion back into the team. Beforehand, he was sort of not left in the team because Hanks was the captain, and now Thomas is back into him. He's the captain now, so I suspect that since Thomas is back into the team, Mohammed has moved towards the right centre back role, like you said.
Pinchard right into Thomas, playing that right back role tonight, and a ball over the top by Pinchard. Can it pick out Ellis Watts? Ellis Watts goes chasing towards it, but in the end, the ball runs out for a Gosport goal kick. And Jeremy, I mentioned about that poor recent away form. Do you think that could have any impact on the mentality tonight?
Possibly. I think you guys nailed it quite early on when you said that this can be a formidable place for visiting teams to come and play. So you get that siege mentality. Going away from home, it's not quite so simple. And also, I think when you go to places like Hungerford and Camwell, with every due respect to those teams, you have got to be on your game when you go to grounds like that and try and get a result. And we weren't on our game.
Well, certainly, and Gosport will be looking to bounce back tonight, but it's Gloucester on the attack. A hanging cross in from Watts just nicely drops into the gloves of Henry Blackledge. In the end, a pretty comfortable save for the Gosport keeper, on loan from Luton Town, and has he made some cracking saves since being here at the AEI Stadium. And he's been key for us recently, Jeremy.
Yeah, you've only got to look at Taunton, got the last home game where he effectively won us the game. Obviously, you often look at goal scorers that score the goals to win the matches, but at the other end, if you've got an excellent last line of defence that is the critical difference at times, like he was that day, then yeah.
Gloucester with the possession at the moment in that left-hand channel. I was going to say, you may have heard a bang here in the press box. I think the door's just folded on itself. But it's Gloucester coming forward. It was Simpson there who just tripped. And now it allows Ben Greenwood to pick up possession just outside his own box, passing it into Ngalo, who's got 2 Gloucester players surrounding him. Ngalo has to pass all the way back into Henry Blackledge inside his own 60-yard box. Now Charlie Vasmer, right of his own box, into Rory Williams, the experienced Gosport defender. Matt Boost has to come back, and Gosport just escaped the Gloucester pressure really well. Tommaso laying a good through ball into, I think that's Ethan Taylor on the far side, who is tripped. The referee gives nothing despite shouts from the Gosport stand in the Harry Mitson stand. Matt, anything in that there?
I can't really see from here, but I think that was probably a fair challenge.
Thompson with the ball at the moment, and like I said, one of the many experienced players here at the AEI Stadium, the Northern Irish keeper, actually came through the ranks at Chelsea, spending time in Norway and even winning the Danish Cup. You don't normally hear of careers like that in non-league, Matt.
No, you don't. He's clearly quite experienced. He's definitely been around the place.
And Jeremy, I would imagine you've seen him a few times over the years, Thompson.
Yes, he's a player who's very familiar to me, and key player wherever he goes.
What's on the halfway line for the visitors? Goes centre into Pinchard, still controlling the midfield area and dinking the ball forward. It's well turned by Phillips, left of the penalty box, edge of the box, swings in across, but it evades everyone inside the Gosport box as it fizzles out for a Gosport goal kick. And that's our first real time of seeing Phillips on the ball on the edge of the box. Not a great delivery, although no runs in the middle, and that's something Gloucester's been struggling with so far.
Yeah, so far, I mean, I think so far Gloucester's been quite intense press
Yeah, no,
from the
I
start.
saw the count.
I think that definitely the idea is to target down in the middle in the box.
Charlie
No.
Basma
You're gonna go
into
for the
Matt
box.
Booth, recently signed for Gosport from Dorchester on a month's loan. And Jeremy, to be fair, you can probably tell us quite a bit about Matt Booth. I've heard he was previously at Gosport quite a few years ago.
Yeah, season 2017, 2018, when we were just fighting for our lives financially. He was here for pretty much the whole campaign and scored some critical goals in critical games. A youngster back then, of course, he's a bit older, wiser, and more experienced now. So, like I said on social media at the weekend, I'm looking forward to see what he can bring back to Gosport now, coming back for a second spell. But he's physical, all action, gets stuck in, the sort of player you need in a game such as this.
Talking about a player getting stuck in, and Garlow does well to win Gosport a foul inside the centre circle before going left into Ben Greenwood. And how important could the return of Ben Greenwood be for the rest of Gosport season? Obviously, returning back from injury tonight.
Yeah.
Still on the ball at the moment, thinking a high ball over, looking to pick out Casimir, but in the end finds the head of Mohammed. But his clearance falls to Michael Fernandez, who excellently turned away from Hangset. That is beautiful from Fernandez, Matt.
That was beautiful. Absolutely.
Another ball looking to be pinged forward. It's trying to be chased down by Casimir. In the end, well dealt with by Mohammed. On loan from West Brom. So definitely a lot of prospect in that player, and he's shown good promise so far within the early minutes here at the AEI Stadium. If you're just tuning in, it is still goalless here. Two teams, like I said, fighting for that playoff spot. So you would imagine this game is going to have a lot of action throughout the 90. Yet to see any real clear-cut opportunities, so inside the first 8 minutes, I think that is here at the AEI Stadium.
I do wonder, James, I've noticed that when Gosport have been on the ball, Gloucester's been have quite intense press. So I wonder if Gosport can sort of take advantage of that on the transition or a ball over the top if they can win the ball back. Maybe they can take advantage of Gloucester overextending themselves.
And Jeremy, that's actually a great point Matt alludes to there about Gosport on the counter. It's the way Glenn House and Mark Summerhill really like to arrange their teams, especially with players like Casimir, Michael Fernandez with bags of pace.
Yeah, hit them hard, hit them quick, and hit them where it hurts. We've seen it time and time again, especially at home this season, where those assets have been used to their full potential. I think Fernandez, when he is absolutely on his game, is unplayable.
Yeah.
And so is Cable. But you've got it, and if you can get the twin threat going, then yeah, look out.
Yeah.
But that is the thing, though. I think for it to really work, one or both have to be on their game.
Gloucester with possession midway inside their own half. Pinchard coming forward for the Tigers. Simpson and Phillips both in front of him. He chooses Simpson, but it's a heavy touch which allows Gosport to overturn possession, but they can't make anything of the counter. And Garlow straight into Mohammed, who's coming forward before going back into Thomas, the Gloucester skipper. And Matt, you alluded to it before the game kicked off. A change of skippers tonight. What do you make of that?
I think it's possibly due to just rotation, other players coming back into the side. I wouldn't look too much into it. I think it's more just that the Gloucester manager, wants to have his best players back in the side, and that's his captain who wants to choose.
Well, Gloucester with possession. At the moment, it's Thomas with the ball before going back into Mohammed. Now drifting more towards that right back role. Although he was playing more centre earlier. Mohammed for the visitors. And Gosport, they're starting to press heavily now into the Gosport half. It's Matt Booth trying to chase down all these loose balls. But in the end, it's just like cat versus mouse. Gloucester. It was, yeah. You have to admit, they do look quite cool under the pressure though, Gloucester.
Yeah, and I would expect no less of them. You know, you're not going to be in and around the top 2 or 3 without being able to cope with pressure.
Yeah.
And they've got so much experience out there, James.
Thomas striding forward. He can't get his pass across into what's a sliding challenge there from Ben Greenwood, intercepting it before eventually Rory Williams on the near side clears it out.
See, James, that's where they need to take advantage because Thompson was so high at the pitch that the Gloucester need to get that ball right because they really could take advantage of that vacant space back that he left by charging it.
Need to be more rapid with it.
Nice press here early on.
Well, Ben Greenwood with a throw in into Adam Tommaso as the ball just rolls across the 18-yard box. The former AFC Tottenham man going down the right-hand channel into Harry Kavanagh, back in the side today, replacing Benny Reid. And he picks out Casimir. It's a heavy touch, but he still keeps it under control. He's brought down, and the referee does give the Gosport free kick. And that did look like a free kick from up here, Jeremy.
Yeah, certainly nothing. Play on, move on. But it's an early opportunity for Gosport to try and use a set piece to try and apply pressure. So let's see what they can come up with.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Ben Greenwood heading over to take this set piece. Probably what you would imagine, although Harry Kavanagh also joined alongside him before he eventually ran away. So it will be Greenwood taking this set piece as he swings in a ball with that left foot headed away by Gloucester, but the clearance is going to find Michael Fernandez just outside the Gloucester box. Greenwood, another chance to dink a ball in. This one's steeper. It finds Vasma, who keeps it in on the byline. And then the header from Vasma looking to pick out Boos. And now Boos is fighting for the ball against Thomas, but Thomas in the end on the half volley, smashing it away. And now the ball eventually runs out of play on the near side.
I did notice the way the Gloucester set up at the back, and it was really impressive actually. When that free kick came in, we literally had a bank of 4 there across, and they completely isolated the big men that went up to try and compete with the ball. So yeah, very well organised, and I'm impressed with that actually.
And as Jeremy said, they do have a great shape, especially when defending the set pieces. It looked pretty well organised, like Jeremy said.
It did, yeah. I mean, they should probably take inspiration from Arteta's set pieces at Arsenal. Maybe Arteta should look at someone else because their set pieces.
Maybe that should be the case. Maybe they would have won by a bigger margin last night. Might be in a bit more of an interesting game. Well, 12 minutes now played here at the AEI Stadium. It is Gosport 0, Gloucester City 0. But Gloucester, they're coming down the right-hand channel now, and they're looking quite promising. It's on to Ellis Watts on the edge of the box. He wriggles past Greenwood, offloading it into Simpson. Simpson just can't find his feet, though, in front of goal. In the end, well defended by Gosport, as the throw-in has been awarded to Gloucester on the near side. Right near Glenn House's technical box. And it's going to allow for Thompson to take a throw-in. A few 1-2s between Thomas and Watts there before it goes back into Mohammed inside his own half. But Matt, that opportunity we just saw there between Simpson and Watts it looked a little bit promising, but once again, just looked a little bit toothless there.
It did look promising, but I think Gosport did well to defend that. The Gosport defence sort of hounded around him and made sure that nothing came of that, which is, from a Gosport perspective, it's really good to see. But it could be a cause for concern of how easy he got in behind there.
You can contrast the two styles of defending, can't you, Matt? Because Gosport's was a little bit hurried, a little bit panicky, and then you compare that to the organisation that Gloucester showed at the other end. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I love trying to unpick a match tactically, see how the team's set up, and see how it plays. It's quite intriguing.
Yeah, it is. And to be fair, if you look at the similarities though between the two sides, I mean, as of recent form, they're sort of similar. Like both struggling recently, finding it hard in front of goal. So probably more similarities than what lets on.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I think tonight's going to be such a tight game, because you have got similar circumstances on both sides. But I think I'd like to think that Gosport will make home advantage count for something here, but the usual AI atmosphere is not really with us tonight, I'm afraid to say. It's a little bit flat out there.
Do you think that's been an impact of recent form?
I think it's more that it's a cold Wednesday night.
Yes, it is.
And on for we've now got a run of. I'll come back to it.
Oh, what's outside the box coming forward? He can't get his pass threaded through though. In the end, intercepted by Charlie Vasma. That was promising. As we were speaking about though, toothless when they get into those promising positions.
Yeah, don't hex it too much, James, because the next one might not be.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't want to jinx it just yet.
It's early days again, and we've got a rogue shutter outside a window in the press box that keeps wanting to shut. Restricts our view.
Well, a quarter of an hour now played here at the AEI Stadium. You're listening to Gosport Radio. The score is currently goalless, although Gloucester do have a throw-in deep into the Gosport half. It's going to be Lewis taking this throw-in on the near side. It's flung in. Can it pick out Mohammed, who looked to turn, volley it in? In the end, Gosport have been given a goal kick. I'm pretty sure it went out for. Yeah, it did go out for a goal kick.
I was just saying before that chance generated that I think because we've gone so long without a home game, now we've got 4 inside a very quick turnaround of time. And I think people are having to watch their pennies, especially if they haven't got season tickets.
No, exactly.
And so if you choose a Saturday afternoon or a wild, windy Wednesday night, what would you choose?
Yeah, I have to admit, I think I'd be more in favour, like you said, yeah. Well, Gloucester City have a throw-in on the far side. And now 16 minutes have been played here. It is still goalless, still yet to see a real opportunity inside this game. It's Ethan Taylor on the far side, back into Charlie Vasma inside his own half. Feeds it into Tommaso, who clips the ball over the Gloucester defence. It's being chased down by Casmu right in the box. In the end, a little bit of a fight, and well, should I say more duel between Lewis and Casmu on the far side. In the end, it was Lewis winning that duel. And now it will be a goal kick in which Thomas will be hoping to take. On that, we were looking at it as well. There has been a little bit reshuffle at the back, but they do look pretty good so far.
They look
defending Gosport.
very solid at the back, James. I think so far.
Oh, Michael Fernandez very nearly picking up a second ball there, Jeremy.
Yeah, there was a slight error from Gloucester there, but he wasn't able to.
Well, I'm going to cut away as Casmu might have just gone to the end of a ball. Unfortunately, Mohammed beats him to it, shielding the ball away from. Casmu was there.
Very, very calm, level-headed defending there from Mohammed.
He looks really good for such a youngster, only 19 years old.
Very, very cool on the ball. He's very calm. And if you notice how his footwork on the ball as well, it's actually really, really good to watch.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's with a pro club because I don't think you'll get that quite that good at this level. No disrespect at all, but watch him now. He's on the ball now.
Like you said, he just looks so cool.
And there you go.
Elegantly dinking the ball over.
Although I think our commentators cursed him there. I think I put the hex on him. Sorry there.
I blame the wind for that one.
Yeah, sorry, Jamal. I think I hexed you there because that wasn't one of his better ones. But I'll tell you what, his distribution is faultless.
Yeah,
the wind's not helping him. The wind has really whipped up out there tonight.
Oh, we were having a few fans comment about that, saying they think Gosport's probably the windiest grounds out of all the ones they've been to.
Well,
a lot of match day vloggers.
Got to say it, we're only half a mile from the sea, so that might be why.
Yeah. Well, Gloucester with possession at the moment with Pinchard just outside the centre circle, nearly dispossessed by Boos. In the end, Gloucester just escaping the Gosport pressure. High Gosport pressure, actually. And now it does look like Gosport are starting to push up the gears and intensify their pressure. While Gloucester coming forward, a ball over the Gosport backline is being chased down by Simpson, left of the 18-yard box. Now being chased down by Harry Kavanagh, but Simpson still goes along. Dinks in a ball, but it's being cleared away by Jordan Ngalo there, before eventually Henry Blackledge has to come pick up the ball. That was dangerous there from Simpson, Matt.
It was definitely dangerous. When he made the initial run, I thought there might have been a question of offside, but he must have timed it quite well. And then there was the dink into the box, and it was actually well defended. I think it's a warning sign for Gosport, the things Gloucester can do. And ironically, I think that's a sort of what Gloucester just done there is what Gosport needs to be doing.
Ball out of play for a Gosport throw-in, in which Ben Greenwood will be hoping to take. More or less, a few yards away from the halfway line, still inside the Gosport half. And now 20 minutes on the clock. It is Gosport 0, Gloucester 0. And Glenn House just having a few words to Ben Greenwood there, the throw-in taker. And Ben Greenwood went long with the throw-in, trying to pick out Casmu. In the end, Casmu toppled over Thomas there.
Little handshake though, and just move on, play on. But yeah, I mean, the weather has been absolutely appalling, hasn't it, the last few days, James? And I'll come back to my point in a second.
Yeah, Tommaso with a little bit of a heavy touch, allowing for Gloucester to overturn possession on the far side. It's Pinchard, 25 yards out. He brushes it across the, I'd say, 25-yard area into Wildig. Wildig just outside the centre circle. Into Simpson. Simpson back into Thomas. Now Ross on the ball. Pinchard looking to go inside of Ethan Taylor and playing it left into Hanks. Hanks, ball in. And in the end, it just dropped towards the front post. The Gloucester man got onto the end of it, blasting it over. I think that caught everyone by surprise there, Jeremy.
Did a little bit, but it's just a reminder for Gloucester if they needed it that Gloucester are always going to be dangerous and unpredictable. So going forward, yeah, just got to be switched on at all times. So I was just going to say that actually because I live about a street away from here, that when sometimes the weather just beats on my windows and it's the rain and the wind lashing on the windows. So if it's going to be bad there, it's going to be bad right here. Literally, I'm only 2 streets away. So yeah, it does catch the wind off the Solent. Now we can do about it, but that is an advantage that Gosport should be utilising.
Yeah,
really, they know what conditions they're going to get.
Simpson striding forward down the left-hand flank up against Adam Tommaso. Simpson looking to go outside, but in the end, Adam Tommaso holds his ground well there, winning Gosport back possession and doing well enough actually to win Gosport a throw-in on the far side, one which Harry Kavanagh is heading over to go and take. But Tommaso, to be fair to him, held his ground well there, Matt.
He definitely did. Just an observation of how the game's going so far. I know Gosport we have some good players, but just Gloucester just seems to be technically above Gosport right now, just with the way they're moving passes around and dribbling the ball and making closure on the ball. It just seems like they're up for it more right now.
Ben Greenwood on the near side into Michael Fernandez, the Gosport number 20, jinking inside, and I was going to say he's been well dispossessed there by Wildig, and now Gloucester looking to counter through Simpson. Simpson back into Thomas. Simpson there was just surrounded by Gosport players there, so was forced into passing backwards. But the opportunity for a counter was there, Matt.
It was there, and then they need to take those chances because the rate things going with how Gloucester are on the ball and how composed they are, those chances won't come that often. So when they do, they need to really take advantage.
Well, I believe there has been a goal in the Carabao Cup semi-final, and I'm pretty sure it has gone City's way, judging by the notification. 3-0, the aggregate score there. Arsenal booked their spot in the final of the Carabao Cup final last night after a win against Chelsea. So we will keep you up to date with that score, but Gosport on their attack down the right-hand side, nothing comes of it. They've been a little sloppy with their passing tonight, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was telegraphed, I'm afraid. We're going to have to be a little bit more incisive than that.
Thomas down the right-hand side, Ben Greenwood chasing him down. In the end, Thomas goes left into Wildig. Wildig dinks in a ball. Can it pick out Phillips down the left-hand side? Yes, it can. Passing back into Hanks, who goes for a shot, and it fizzes across the 6-yard box, narrowly evading an onrushing Simpson there. Fortunately for Gosport, contact wasn't made there, but that was a promising chance there.
Definitely. If he'd made contact with the far post, Kane Simpson, we all know what he can do in front of goal. I suspect that would have been the night's opening goal here at the AEI. A really good move. And Gosport just need to be on their toes here, because it is a little bit too easy for my liking for Gloucester going forward.
Well, Gosport yet to really pose any sort of threat towards the Gloucester goal.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. We've had 25 minutes, and yeah, I think that we've had 2 clear-cut chances for Gloucester and none for Gosport.
Well, it is still goalless if you are tuning in. Charlie Vasmer with possession inside his own D, coming forward for Gosport, right into Harry Kavanagh. Former Pompey man into Ethan Taylor, having to drop deep inside his own half to claim the pass. And to be fair, actually, it does look like Ethan Taylor's playing a lot further back than he normally does tonight.
Yeah, almost unfamiliar for him, actually, isn't it? But it's horses for courses with the injuries that Gosport have got at the moment and the unavailability. They're having to get players to play out of position.
Williams looking to dink a ball forward into Casmu, once again well read by Mohammed, and now Gloucester look to come forward. Simpson on the halfway line, back to Thomas. The Gloucester skipper looking up, decides to go back into Mohammed. But there's just no urgency really in the Gosport press at the moment, Matt.
No, there isn't. And I do wonder if sort of the circumstances of whether the injuries are just sort of hampering the intensity of their press, and maybe they're a bit taking a.
Oh, Gloucester down, the left ball comes in.
Hey?
The cross just dinked in towards that 6-yard area before going out. And it's another example, Matt, there of Gosport not closing Gloucester down.
It is another example, and really the only thing I can criticise Gloucester for so far is that their crosses have been poor, really. They've not really found their target. They're always, in fact, they're closer to a Gosport head rather than the Gloucester head. But yeah, it's another warning sign for Gosport, James.
Well, Matt, just tell the listeners about Gloucester's recent away form.
They're away from, yes, they have 1 win in 7 games.
Some close ball, mate.
And in fact, their last game was a draw to bottom of the league. So maybe that could sort of lift Gosport spirits, knowing that they're playing a side that are
What we got?
struggling in
5, 7,
form.
6, 9.
But then again, the Gosport don't really seem to be.
Oh, Gosport might be able to counter through Michael Fernandez. He plays a great through ball into Ben Greenwood and bags the space down this left-hand side. Ben Greenwood goes back into Michael Fernandez. The former Farnborough pair linking up. Ngalo midway inside the Gloucester half. Once again, Gosport taking a little bit too long with their attack there to cause any serious threat. Williams into Michael Fernandez. Back to Williams. Fernandez was pushed to the floor there. The referee gives Gosport the free kick. Left-hand side and midway inside the Gloucester half. So it's a chance for Gosport to whip the ball inside the Gloucester box here. At the moment, it does look to be Rory Williams and Ben Greenwood over this set piece. Although Rory has just walked away from it, so it's going to be Greenwood taking it.
Get in the box. Get in the box.
Ben Greenwood for Gosport. The set piece, a deep one. And it's going to be, well, I thought it was going to be easily gathered there by Thompson, although he did spill it before regathering it. A little bit shaky hands there, Matt.
A little bit of shaky hands here. Maybe, I mean, not to sort of slam the Gospel to his because he's not had much to do. So maybe he wasn't ready for that one. But I mean, just the way their set pieces were structured. Gloucester still look, as Jeremy mentioned earlier, how well they're structured their set pieces.
Yeah, you saw it again there, didn't you? And I don't think the wind helped him there. You could see the ball swirling in the wind. Yeah, difficult take for the keeper there.
Pinchard overturning possession on the halfway line, going right into Thomas. Thomas into Simpson. Simpson looking to turn. Rory Williams instead pushes a pass backwards into Ellis Watts. The former Hungerford man left into Hanks, I think that is on the far side. And now Pinchard just outside the centre circle, still inside the Gosport half. Ellis Watts, 25 yards out, looking to go for a shot. In the end, that was well wide. I don't think he knew where the goal was there, Matt.
No, I don't, and I'm really happy he didn't hit someone's car. So
let's hope it didn't hit your one, because let's be real, that was miles over.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah, it'd be disappointed with that, but I'll tell you what, a shoot on sight's never a bad thing if there's no other option available. And to be honest, again, it's another chance chalked up for Gloucester, even if they couldn't execute it.
Yeah,
Cheers, Tom.
Definitely. As Rory Williams comes forward with his pink boots, he's got Ben Greenwood to the left of him. Although Rory Williams goes for the ambitious through ball, looking to feed it into Casmoot. As per usual, though, in this game, Mohammed well reads it. Although Williams has just done well, I was going to say, to intercept the ball and perhaps create a little bit of a promising attack. But as per usual, Gloucester just winning it back immediately. And so far, that's been the story of this first half, Jeremy. Just Gloucester seem to find it so easy to overturn the possession so far.
Yeah, there's a few turnovers out there, aren't there? And then they're making them count for something. And what does worry me a little bit is that it is a bit too easy for them to get through the Gosport rear guard, really. Yeah, I'd just like to see that change for the better as far as Gosport are concerned. Because you've got a lot of pace out there with Gloucester, and you've got players that can be creative on the ball, like Watts, and then you've got players out there that can finish them off. Gosport beware.
Well, Kavanagh on the far side for Gosport. Once again, a pass intercepted by Gloucester. It's almost like Gosport just don't want the ball tonight. It's Pinchard with the ball inside the centre circle. Ngalo now chasing him down. And now Gloucester looking to take it down to this left-hand channel. Numbers flooding into the Gosport box. It's gone back into Wildy. And now the Watts player going for a shot. And it just, in the end, found Henry Blackledge. So much space given to the Gloucester players, though.
So I just said, look at the space
Yeah.
they're being given. You can't do it. You know, you're not meant to be.
Well,
low
Gosport
vision
looking to
Red
counter
Sea.
down the other end. Ethan Taylor was forward there. Sliding challenge from Thomas, winning it back for Gloucester. Although Gosport have just won it back in the left-hand channel. Michael Fernandez looking to go for a shot. And Ethan Taylor unable to get on the end of it. It forced a save, though, from Thompson, who had to get down low to push it away. Although, if Ethan Taylor got onto the end of that, you would have thought that would have been a Gosport goal there.
Yeah, I think if he got a touch, he'd have probably just nudged that past Thompson. But Gosport's first serious opportunity of the evening there, James, and Greenwood set up nicely by Fernandez. What a bit of work that was on the ball. It just goes back to what I was saying a little earlier about when he's on form, you can't do much with him. I'd like to see more of that now, really.
Much more. Was that a shot or a pass there from Fernandez?
I think it was an intended shot, actually. Because he had the angle.
Yeah.
He had the angle, so I think he's probably going for goal. So James is having a little tweet here. So it's not, I know it's called out these days before anyone corrects me. I know. But anyway, we've got just under quarter of an hour left in this first half. Goalless here. Gloucester with the better of the possession and the opportunities in front of goal, but Gosport by no means out of it, of course. Just a little bit sloppy around the edges, Borough this evening, as I'm sure Matt would agree.
Oh, I definitely agree. I mean, that shot we just saw, it definitely was a shot. That is the Gosport's best moment so far of this match. It just sort of feels like Gloucester sort of dancing around Gosport, especially around the Gosport penalty area.
Yeah, a little bit like Moses parting the Red Sea, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
a little bit like that. Boost now for Gosport. Gosport coming forward, a little dink in from the right-hand side of the penalty area. That should be bread and butter for the goalkeeper, Thompson, and it is. But that seems to have given Gosport a little bit of heart because that was a good move, albeit short-lived, but it was a good move. And but now Gloucester just trying to play out from the back. Thompson just checking where he can go with it. James, should you back?
I am back now, yeah. And like you said, Jeremy, it's amazing that one opportunity can just inject that much more into the Gosport side.
Yeah, suddenly they've got a little bit of
Like, look
swagger
at
about them.
Gosport now. Michael Fernandez coming forward once again, goes inside of his man, decides to lay it off into Ethan Taylor, just evades the Gosport number 25, but he's going to run on to the end of it, still looking to keep this chance alive into Harry Kavanagh, and it's just a little bit too far for Harry Kavanagh to get onto the end of.
Yeah, caught Taylor by surprise, really, James, but that's better. Now, Gosport are playing with a little bit of swagger, and that's what they need to do, really. So, yeah, that one opportunity from Fernandez has really bucked them up.
Certainly has, and 33 minutes now played here at the AEI Stadium. You're listening to Gosport Radio. It is goalless, and Gosport now just starting to look to get more into the game, although Gloucester have possession at the moment through Thomas on the halfway line into Wildig. Wildig being chased down by Casimir, and Casimir nearly actually winning Gosport possession there before Wildig went back into Mohammed. Mohammed having his shirt tugged by Casimir.
Amazing composure.
It was impressive there. Now Simpson on the halfway line for the Tigers. Back to Mohammed. And Mohammed feeds it back into Simpson. Simpson still calling for the ball. Clearly a thriving player who just wants the ball constantly.
I'm trying to think of kind of players he reminds me of, but it's just incredible how calm he is.
Oh, Gloucester have the ball left of the 18-yard box. Ball cut back into Pinchard. He can't get his shot across. And can Thomas? No, he can't. It's being blocked by Gosport. And now Borough looking to counter through Casimir outside the centre circle. He's nudged by Mohammed. In the end, winning Gosport a free kick just outside the centre circle. Also, the referee will be having a word with Mohammed.
Just wants a word in the ear. It was a little bit over physical, but nothing overly controversial with it. So yeah, Gosport get to clear their lines.
Well, Gosport looking to take the set piece through Rory Williams by the looks of it. And he goes back into Charlie Vasma. Kavanagh and Charlie Vasma just returning 1-2s between the duo. And now Williams left into Ben Greenwood on the near touchline. Greenwood looking to dink a ball over the back line. It's being picked up by Fernandez. Fernandez looking to go back into Boost. Boost is pulled off the ball. The referee hasn't given anything. Gosport have possession though still through Michael Fernandez. Fernandez back into Ngalo. Edge of the box, left hand side. Ngalo looking to cut inside of his man. But he can't get past the trio of players surrounding him before eventually Ngalo pushes his man to the floor. And Ian McKenna, side chairman, not happy with the decision making from the referee there, because Matt Boost definitely had his shirt pulled there.
Yeah, he did. I think it looked worse than it actually was, but yeah, it might have been a foul. But anyway, Gosport again couldn't make it pay, and then in the end, Ngalo conceded a free kick himself. So it gives Gloucester a chance just to settle things down on the ball.
Mohammed right into Thomas. One in near touchline. Back to Mohammed. Mohammed just outside his own goal at the moment. He's pink and white boots. Right into Thomas.
Yeah, get some more Thomas.
And Gloucester just taking their time working it out from the back. That's what's happened to come back, to pass it back into Mohammed. And to be fair, I know we've already highlighted Mohammed a few times, but he does look to be a leader at the back for Gloucester.
He really is leader. He's almost like a captain without the captain's armband at the moment. And I've decided the player that he reminds me of. It's sort of like it's might be a bit of a stretch, but it's sort of like a young Varane.
Oh, Gosport coming down the right hand side. They can't pick out Matt Busso, although he is chasing the ball. Before eventually Thompson clears his line, so clearance dropping to Ben Greenwood. Greenwood chested it, but the clearance anyway picked up by Gloucester before eventually Adam Tommaso overturns possession inside the centre circle. Boost coming forward for Gosport into Ethan Taylor, holding up possession on the far side. He's got Adam Tommaso behind him, and Taylor does pick that option. Tommaso into Ngalo. Back into Rory Williams, the Gosport skipper tonight. So much experience under his name, Rory Williams. Obviously, he led the Hawks, led Gosport now for a number of years. And Jeremy, for the Gloucester listeners listening to this broadcast, Rory Williams, focal point of our defence now for a number of years.
And a focal point of the club as well. He has been nothing short of an absolute legend at this football club. This is actually his third spell here. First joined in 2009 when he was an absolute young.
I would have been free then.
Yeah, and then he went off and.
Oh, Gosport with a risky back pass. Sorry, there.
That's fine. And then after going off to play at Havant Waterloo in the National League, he's come back and stayed here. He did have a brief interlude with Mark White at Dorking, but that didn't last very long. And yes, literally, he's played all over the place. Midfield, up front. I remember when he and Dan Wooden were a lethal partnership up front 10 years or so ago. And now, he's settled at left back.
Well, luckily, he's done a fair bit tonight in terms of controlling possession, but like I said, Gloucester haven't really engineered too many concrete chances so far.
It's actually evened out for me because Gosport now have won
It does
two
feel
of their
that
own.
way.
But it took about half an hour, 35 minutes for the first one to really arrive for Borough. But now they're actually growing into the game, Gosport.
Or Pinchard with a reverse pass into Ellis Sports outside the 18-yard box. As well to find Pinchard again. Pinchard just outside the D, just trying to escape the press of Casimir, but Casimir resiliently hunting him down. Before Gloucester work it to the left-hand side. Lewis with the attempted cross, blocked by Kavanagh and out for a throw on the far side, which will be taken by Lewis, who looks to go quick, passing it back into O'Regan. On the ball at the moment. And now Wildig for the Tigers. And Gloucester still coming forward through Wildig before he goes into Lewis. Lewis does drill in his cross. And it's a header there from Phillips, who nods it just wide. And that was the opportunity for Gloucester to take the lead, Jeremy.
I thought that was going in, to be honest. That sort of sharp back header, I thought that was going just to nestle right into that bottom right-hand corner there, James, and that would have been 1-0. But no, luckily for Gosport, it sort of found its way the other side of the post and to safety. But yeah, a clear warning really that the threat that our visitors do post.
And Matt Phillips there with 13 goals to his name. Would you have expected him to bury that there?
I was almost anticipating you to scream out a goal. It looked so close from where we were, and I'm really surprised that he didn't score. I think that's the first time he probably got to a Gloucester head in the Gosport penalty box from a cross like that. So, yeah, I'm very surprised he didn't score.
Well, Jeremy, just talk us through the proceedings at the moment.
Yeah, no worries. James is back on X. So Gosport now coming forward down the right-hand side. Little slick move now, and it's going to come in from the right-hand side. He was looking for Fernandez, but it was cut out very cleverly and sharply by Gloucester, and not really giving Fernandez much time to react to it. I need the team sheet really from the some sort of going on there. I'm winging it at the moment. So yes, thank you. Gloucester now building from the back, and they have one of their players down, so the referee has brought the game to a halt. Just trying to see who that is. It's Michael O'Regan, I think, the player down, but I'm not entirely sure. But either way, he's back up on his feet, so the game will continue.
Yeah, still, it just looks like he's got a little bit of discomfort, but like you said, he is walking on it, so it must be fine. And it does allow both teams just to have a little word with some of their players, the management team. I can see Simpson going towards his management. Ben Greenwood had a word with Glenn House there. Not sure what Glenn would have said to Ben Greenwood there, because he hasn't really put a foot wrong so far, I would say.
Yeah, but nor has he been outstanding. He's just done his job, and he's sort of. But it's great to have him back because he had his injury, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But Gloucester on the attack with, I believe that is Watts. And now Lewis on the far side gets that overlap and wins his side accord on the far side, that is. Looks like it's going to be Pinchard heading over to go and take the set piece. Is that the normal set piece taker for Gloucester, Matt?
It seems that way, yes. Pitchard took a free kick at the start of his match before, and that's normally the guy that they look to for their set pieces.
How do you see this corner going?
I think it'll be a in-swinner into the box, and we're going to try and look for someone like Simpson or Phillips.
Even Mohammed.
Even Mohammed as well. He is a tall lad.
Well, yeah, he's a big boy, isn't he? I think it's the sort of big gun you need at set pieces.
Well, certainly he's heading towards that 6-yard area. So could he be the recipient of the corner? Anyway, the corner does come in. It does evade the head of Mohammed, and now it's being chased down by Nicolo. On the edge of the box, he goes into Michael Fernandez. Fernandez holding up play and gifting a pass straight into Mohammed. And now Ellis Watts into Wildig. Wildig just outside the centre circle, goes left into Lewis there. But once again, just Gloucester look to be so casual on the ball, it seems, Matt.
They really do. It's almost like it's a training session.
It does feel that way,
how
doesn't it?
like calm and composed they are right now. It almost feels like everybody on that Gloucester side is comfortable with having the ball in.
Oh, a ball over the Gosport back line. It's being chased down by Hanks. Hanks doesn't get the better of Henry Blackledge. Although the Luton loanee didn't get a touch on it, he made himself big there, clearly putting Hanks off. Luckily for Gosport, nothing coming of that chance, Jeremy.
Yeah, just as well, really. But no, I agree with the comments made about how casual it is for Gloucester. And Gosport are just not giving them, they're not giving them too much
In a
time.
weird way, it just feels like even a training session or friendly,
It's got
there's
that
just no
tone to it,
intensity
hasn't
to it.
You wouldn't think that there are 3 points up for grabs tonight, and an important 3 points at that.
Simpson now striding forward, gets better of Michael Fernandez, now lining up a shot. It's straight down the throat of Henry Blackledge. Comfortable save from the Luton loanee. And as Paul said in the press box, like every time Gosport do have a chance to counter, they're just not doing anything with it. They're too slow every time. Well, now Charlie Vasmer hacking a ball deep inside the Gloucester half. It's like the comments we made at the start of the broadcast. Gosport do not look like they want the ball tonight, Jeremy.
No, it's strange, really, because they're playing at home, so you'd think that they'd want to get at Gloucester and really put them under some pressure. But in fact, it's the other way around. Gloucester are playing much more like the home side.
Ellis Watts dispossessed there by Rory Williams. Left edge of the box, and now ball clipped behind the Gloucester back line. In the end, still well read there by Mohammed, but it's just Control C, Control V at the moment. Trying to get the balls in behind the Gloucester defence, but Mohammed is dealing well with them every time so far.
For the non-Windows users, that's copy and paste.
Yeah. Well, Rory Williams now on the near side. And the referee
Right on
has
time.
just
Right
blown
on
his
time.
half-time whistle. Bang on 45 minutes.
Yeah.
No additional time given.
Right, we got any
To be fair,
calls from
a
elsewhere
half
at all?
of very few opportunities. Looking at the other big score tonight, Manchester City are leading 2-0 at home in the Carabao Cup semi-final. So as it stands, Manchester City leading 4-0 on aggregate. As it stands, it does look like Manchester City will be facing Arsenal in the final. But Matt, let's reflect on that first half. Not the most interesting.
It's not been the most interesting. No, but I think what's more interesting about this game is individual performances. I think from Gosport, the lonely goalkeeper has done well. He's actually saved
In the country
Gosport
tonight.
a little bit here and there, coming out and
Just a reminder that we're at home
catches from the
to
crosses.
Chelsea this
I
Saturday,
also think
kicking off at
Fernandez
3 o'clock,
for
back to our normal
Gosport
Saturday
has
afternoon
been very
routine.
good. He's
Oh,
actually
we've missed being here on
created
Saturday,
chances here and there.
truly.
For Gloucester, well, I could probably
Just
name their
let's get
entire
on to
team
the
sheet for who's
50-50
done
draw
well.
then, ladies
But
and
obviously
gentlemen.
the
So good luck
standout,
to all
we
of
mentioned
you
his name
who
several
got tickets.
times from the hand.
The
Yeah.
He's definitely been their best player. He's just so
£102,
composed
so
on the
that's
ball.
not too shabby.
And
If you have found that you've
for
won,
Gloucester to get into
congratulations. You'll need
this,
to
back into
take
this
your
game,
winnings
they really need to take advantage of
before you leave for home tonight.
that
That's
ball
a really
circuit.
important bit
Gloucester have been
before you
so
leave.
composed on the
Because
ball.
if you don't,
We need to take advantage of when there is
so
space.
good
And
luck
there
to
will
you
be.
then. Tonight's
They
winning
can take advantage
ticket
of the
number
counter-attack.
is 5.
Well, definitely, and I think it's well summed up. Like I said, we'll be back for more second half coverage. This will be on the new stream though. So make sure to check out our YouTube channel or our social media channels if you want to stay in touch with this live stream. And yeah, we'll be back for more second half coverage in the second half.